Hello and welcome to this hopefully peaceful discussion about goth as a trend. I know this general topic has been around forever, but the reason why it's on my mind lately, or it's been on my mind lately, and I wanted to give my thoughts into the internet, is that I recently rejoined TikTok. I'm an old woman, I'm sorry. I haven't been on TikTok for 3 years and I recently rejoined it. And what I was seeing there kind of unnerved me. There's so many elitists and gatekeepers, and also people complaining about elitists and gatekeepers. And it's such a big topic on there that it's really, at least in my perception, it's a lot more than it is in the real world. Like the internet goth bubble is going on about this topic a lot. And very recently, of course, Wednesday, I think I don't need to say any more about this. But yeah, before you comment anything, let me define the word trend and tell you what exactly I want to talk about in this video today. I don't want to come across as overdramatic or very pretentious or anything. These are just my thoughts on this topic. Feel free to leave respectful comments down below, ideally after you've watched this. So there are several definitions of the term trend, and I just Googled it, and Google says the following are definitions of trend. A general direction in which something is developing or changing, and B, a fashion, which means a popular style of clothing, hair, decoration, or behavior, and in fashion, meaning something that is considered attractive at the time in question. And C, a modern version of the definition, is many posts about a subject on a social media site within a short period of time. So TikTok trending, for instance. And the word has Germanic roots, and in the original, the meaning was something like to turn in a specific direction. So this suits our purpose here perfectly, I think. Because in our sense, in the sense that I want to talk about it, it means that in our case, the mainstream and people who are not part of the goth subculture are suddenly turning in our direction, so to say. And why is that, and what is happening there, and why are so many people complaining about it? This is basically what I want to explore in this video. So a lot of people get angry about this topic, and I get why. Because many of us, being goth is a life choice. It's part of every little detail of the daily life, and starting with music taste, fashion, home decoration, the kind of movies we like to watch, and the books we like to read. Underneath these single little life choices in our daily routine lies a kind of philosophy. I mean, it's not an official philosophy by a philosopher or anything, but like lifestyle and kind of attitude towards things. I mean, we make decisions in our life according to the way we feel about life in general, every day. When I talk to other goths about this, they might say, oh, well, we just like the dark side of things. And I think that is the basis of more or less all choices that we make. Yes, it all started with the music, and I totally agree that if you call yourself a goth or part of the gothic subculture, then you should at least know what that term means. You should know a couple of bands, you should know what post-punk and dark wave are and kind of where it came from. And I think you also should like some of these aspects of the music. Like, you don't have to listen to Bauhaus all day, but you have to know who Bauhaus are, and you have to know a couple of songs, and you know, that sort of general thing. So I'm being a little bit elitist here, but hear me out. Because for me, it's not about the music itself, but more like about the reason why we choose certain music and certain fashion and certain other lifestyle things. Because I think before the music, even before the music, comes a certain, let's call it philosophy. Because why do we like this music, the melancholic music? Why do we like nocturnal animals like bats and cats? Why do we like to watch vampire movies and such, there's got to be an underlying reason for that. And I think that is what makes the goth scene and the goth people. It is the music, but it's before the music comes the reason why we want to listen to this music. You understand me? And I think it's because we all constantly feel kind of drawn to the dark, to the melancholy aspects of life. And that leads us in this general direction and into the subculture. Having said that, now comes the argument I'm trying to make. A trend is something that comes and goes and that people enjoy for a short while and for whichever reason, really. Maybe they really like one aspect of the thing, and through the trend they discovered it and now they're doing it, and maybe they'll keep doing it, but maybe they won't, because for some people it might only be about social media likes, or it might be because their friends are doing it, or it just maybe that they don't have a personality and choose whatever is trendy right now. Kidding. And for many who call themselves goth, this presents a kind of a threat, because their identity and lifestyle has meaning to them far beyond a fashion, and they see this meaning being diluted and maybe finally erased through a trend, through too many people doing whatever we're doing, without a meaning behind it and without the knowledge and the history about it, so that the meaning eventually would get lost, which I assume is the fear of people who are elitist and gatekeeping. And it's also, of course, problematic. You see lots of memes about this, that many people who used to be bullies in high school, bullying alternative kids, now wear black lipstick just as we do, and they're doing the exact same thing that they used to bully us for, which is really problematic. But I really think that we're bigger than that. Like, what does that change for my own life if somebody else is wearing black lipstick, apart from that black lipstick is suddenly now available in all the stores everywhere, which it hasn't been. Like, for all of you young people, black lipstick just like 10 years ago was very rare to find, and you would use a kohl pencil or something else to use to do your lipstick. So this is really something that being a trend where we've benefited from goth being a trend. We've seen several dark gothy trends come and go in the past, and even several different kinds of revivals of goth scene, and new influences and whole new genres joining or influencing the goth scene. For example, today's goth events, like festivals here in Germany, and also parties, club nights, have many different music genres on, like not only post-punk and dark wave and new wave, but they might have an industrial EBM floor, or they might have a medieval sort of folk floor or night, or play songs of that genre. And of course, cyber goth movement and such, all these different aspects have like joined in and created a kind of mixture between different things, but they still all kind of fit under the mantle of the we call it schwarze Szene, so like black scene or dark scene in Germany, and they all come together at these events. And I know that this also has caused many elitists to rage and be furious, but these things happen. But my main point is that trends and different influences to the gothic scene bring new people to the scene. They keep the scene alive. They bring us baby bats. I myself discovered goth through the emo scene. I was an emo when I was 17, 18, 19 maybe, in 2007. Yes, I'm old. And I followed the trend. I saw it on the internet, actually. A friend of mine saw it on the internet. We registered at emo.punk.net, which was a forum. People changed music stuff, and I started to listen to metalcore and emo music, and I sort of discovered different aspects of a dark subculture. I broadened my horizon, and here I am 15 years later with my top Spotify genre being dark post-punk. So a lot has changed, but I have discovered this actually through the emo scene because lots of people are interested in similar topics, and you know, one leads to the other. So what I'm trying to say is, if we don't allow for revivals, trends, different new influences into the scene, we will die out. Also, the scene will miss out on so much. I know there are some hardcore OG 80s trad goths who will say no, they will always stay the same and listen to the same 3 songs and do the same things, but I think this is rather one-dimensional and narrow-minded to think that things are not changing or not developing, because all things in life are constantly doing so. And if this is really about individualism, then shouldn't you let other people just be themselves and do whatever they want? I don't think that trends threaten my identity as goth, although I identify as goth now. But apart from that, I also enjoy some things that aren't goth, like metal music, for instance. And it doesn't keep me from welcoming new people who are interested in our scene, because that will essentially keep our scene alive, keep shops like Nyctophilia open, keep the goth nights from happening, because if nobody goes and no new people come to it, it will also close or die down. And I don't really care how they got here, if you know what I mean. If they discovered it through a trend, so what? Thanks for listening. Feel free to leave a respectful comment. I'd like a friendly discussion, please. And I might do a follow-up video if this sheds any new light on things for me, but I think that this is my opinion. I mean, as I said, things change, and my opinion on things or my knowledge about things also changes constantly. And I'm open to it, and I'm open to your thoughts. Well, thank you for watching, and see you in my next video.